Disaster movies are supposed to thrill us with epic tales of survival against the odds, complete with jaw-dropping special effects and heart-pounding action. But sometimes, the only disaster is at the box office. Here are 9 disaster movies that crashed and burned in theaters, proving that not all cinematic catastrophes are intentional. With Battlefield Earth, we have an alien invasion movie that didn't just crash, it imploded. The film starred John Travolta, based on a novel by L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology. Viewers might have hoped for an epic sci-fi adventure. Instead, they got convoluted plotting, hammy acting, and an overuse of slanted camera angles that made it feel like the movie itself was constantly falling over. The film was not only a box office bomb, earning just $29 million against a $73 million budget, but also a critical nightmare, boasting a miserable 3% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Once we finish mining out this miserable little planet, let's do the universe a favor. Let's exterminate a lot of them.
If we don't take back our planet, the last of humanity becomes extinct.
M. Night Shyamalan, known for his twist endings, gave us an unexpected turn with The Happening. This apocalyptic thriller starred Mark Wahlberg running from an unknown force causing mass suicides. The reveal of the antagonist being plants releasing toxins did not go down well with viewers. Wahlberg even admitted years later that the film was a bad movie. Critics echoed this sentiment, as reflected in its 18% Rotten Tomatoes rating. This was truly a disaster movie in every sense, with audiences finding unintentional laughs in what was supposed to be a serious horror thriller.
I'm scared, Elliot.
It's okay.
The attacks are spreading.
Boston, Philadelphia,
Maryland.
It's all over the country.
Authorities are now feeling that a terrorist group being responsible is becoming less and less likely.
She says everyone's dead outside.
The Swarm brought us the terror of killer bees invading Texas, a plot as ridiculous as it sounds. This Irwin Allen disaster movie boasted a star-studded cast including Michael Caine, but it buzzed its way to disaster with a $10 million box office return on a $21 million budget. Caine reportedly signed on to the film without reading the script, later dubbing it one of his worst films. With the bees not so scary and the human characters oddly two-dimensional, the movie earned a 10% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mile by mile, city by city, it moves, leaving in its wake a path of destruction.
For God's sake, Crane, when are we gonna stop this massacre?
Volcano, the movie that saw Tommy Lee Jones face off against a volcano in Los Angeles. The absurd premise, combined with lackluster special effects and a molten river of cheesy dialogue, led to this film's eruption into disaster territory. The film grossed only $49 million at the domestic box office, failing to recoup its $90 million budget. No movie award nominations for this one, folks. Only a tepid 55% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mike, come in. What's going on? It's tremendous heat. This is no good. Get out of here. Get off the train. Get off the train. Please do not leave your home. Somebody tell me what the hell is going on.
There's got to be something feeding this. When it hits block, it's gonna punch through.
You mean it rough?
Yeah.
Twister attempted to take us by storm, with Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton chasing tornadoes across the Midwest. While the film performed well at the box office, it received mixed reviews from critics and audiences alike. Behind the scenes, things were as turbulent as the on-screen tornadoes, with director John DeBont and Hunt reportedly clashing, leading to Hunt vowing never to work with him again. It also earned the wrath of the scientific community for its unrealistic portrayal of storm chasing and tornadoes.
These sensors take scientific measurements.
You gotta get in front of the tornado and put it in the damage path.
You gotta get further ahead of it.
I know what I'm doing.
Have you lost your nerve?
Tighten your seatbelt.
It's at 2 o'clock. It's heading this way.
Roland Emmerich loves a good disaster, and 2012 is his pièce de résistance. Despite a stellar cast, including John Cusack and Woody Harrelson, this end-of-the-world spectacle is notorious for its over-the-top destruction and disregard for logic. The plot sees Earth devastated by a series of cataclysmic natural disasters, prompting humanity's struggle for survival. The film, while commercially successful, was critically panned for its shallow characters and emphasis on spectacle over substance. Its Rotten Tomatoes rating is a not-so-apocalyptic 39%.
Our mission is to assure the continuity of our species. Wasn't it also decided that people have the right to fight for their lives?
Another Emmerich entry, The Day After Tomorrow, saw global warming trigger a new ice age. The movie is crammed with spectacular, though scientifically dubious, disasters. Flash freezes, massive tornadoes, tsunamis, you name it. Jake Gyllenhaal and Dennis Quaid lead a capable cast, but the film's grandeur was met with an icy reception by critics for its heavy-handed messaging and lack of character development. It managed a chilly 44% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm afraid that time has come and gone, my friend.
What can we do?
Save as many as you can.
San Andreas had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson trying to save his family from earthquakes devastating California. If you think it sounds like 10.5, you're not alone. Although the film was a box office hit, it was essentially a series of crumbling skyscrapers and tidal waves, with little plot or character development to hold it together. Critics and audiences were split, with a 49% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, making San Andreas another fault in the disaster movie genre. Black Sea is a 2014 disaster film starring Jude Law that made a mere $1.6 million at the box office. The real disaster, according to fans, was Jude Law's Scottish accent. The film follows the crew of a submarine in search of a sunken U-boat from World War II that is supposedly loaded with gold. The half-Russian, half-British crew soon come into conflict below the surface, however, damaging their submarine and stranding them on the ocean floor.
Don't you worry. You'll be going home a rich man.
What happens when one of them starts to figure out that their share gets bigger and there is less people to share it with?